The worst thing we ever did was tell people that getting better looks like a straight line. Because it doesn't. It never did. And if no one has told you that yet, I am telling you now. You have not lost your progress. You have not failed. You have not gone backwards. You have simply hit a hard part. And that is completely different. Let's talk about something that nobody really wants to say out loud. Healing is messy. It is not a clean upward climb with checkpoints and certificates. It is not a before and after photo. It is not a countdown to the day you finally feel okay and stay that way forever. Healing is circular. It loops back. It revisits. It brings you face to face with the same rooms you thought you had already left and asks you to walk through them again. And the first time that happens, the first time you find yourself back in a place you thought you had healed from, it feels like the floor has dropped out from under you. It feels like proof that you were never really getting better at all. But here is what that feeling gets wrong. Returning to a hard place is not the same as never having left it. You are not the same person you were the first time you were here. You are carrying everything you learned, every tool you picked up, every moment of clarity you earned, every time you chose yourself even when it was hard. That does not disappear just because you are struggling again. It is still in you, all of it. Think about a spiral staircase. Every time you walk around it, you pass the same wall, the same window, the same view. But you are not on the same step. You are higher than you were before. You just can't always see it from the inside. That is what healing looks like from the inside. It feels like you're going in circles when really you're going in spirals, always moving, always rising, even when it doesn't feel that way. Now let's talk about the shame, because that's the part nobody addresses. When you find yourself back at what feels like the beginning, the shame is often louder than the struggle itself. The voice that says, I should be past this by now. The voice that says, I did all the work and it still wasn't enough. The voice that says, what is wrong with me? Nothing. There is nothing wrong with you. Your brain is doing exactly what brains do under stress. It retreats to what's familiar. It reaches for old patterns because old patterns feel safe, even when they're not. That is not weakness. That is biology. And understanding not changes everything. Because when you stop treating a setback as a character flaw and start treating it as information, you stop fighting yourself, and you start listening instead. So what is the setback actually telling you? Maybe it's telling you that a particular wound needs more time than you gave it. Maybe it's telling you that a coping strategy that worked before no longer fits who you are becoming. Maybe it's telling you that something in your environment needs to change. Maybe it's simply telling you that you are human, and humans are not linear. We do not heal on a schedule. We do not recover on a timeline. We do not get better in a straight line just because someone decided that's what progress should look like. We heal in waves. Sometimes the wave carries you forward. Sometimes it pulls you back. But the ocean does not apologize for its tides, and neither should you. Here is what starting over actually means. It doesn't mean you're beginning from nothing. It means you're beginning from experience. There is a difference between the first time you faced this and the second time, and the third time, and every time after that. The first time, you had no map. This time, you have one. It may be worn and folded and marked with wrong turns, but it's yours, and it's proof that you have navigated this before. You know things now that you didn't know then. You know what helped. You know what didn't. You know which voices to listen to and which ones to let pass. You know that you have survived every hard day so far, and that knowledge is not nothing. That knowledge is everything. I want you to do something. I want you to think about the version of you that first started this healing journey. They had no idea what was ahead. They were scared. They were raw. They were just trying to get through the day. And look how far they brought you. Even here, even now, even in this hard moment, they brought you here. Honor that, and then take their hand and begin again. Not because you failed, but because you are brave enough to try again. That is not regression. That is courage. The goal of healing was never to reach a finish line. The goal was never to arrive at a place where nothing hurts anymore. The goal is to build a better relationship with the struggle, to learn how to sit with discomfort without drowning in it, to learn how to fall apart and trust that you know how to come back together, to learn that starting over is not a punishment, it's an invitation to build a stronger foundation this time, to go slower, to be gentler with yourself, to ask for help earlier, to choose yourself more deliberately. Every time you begin again, you begin with more than you had before, and that is not failure. That is growth. That is healing. That is the real truth that nobody tells you. So if you're in that place right now, if you are sitting in the wreckage of a setback and wondering how you ended up back here again, I need you to hear this. You are not back at square one. You are back at the start with everything you learned the first time, and that changes everything. Be gentle with yourself today. Begin again. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are healing. And healing has always looked exactly like this. If this reached you today, save it. Come back to it when the shame gets loud. Share it with someone who needs permission to start over. And subscribe to Dragonfly Whisper. Every week, we come back to the truth, one whisper at a time.